In 1953, the CIA orchestrated Operation Ajax, toppling Iran's Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh. This coup, driven by Cold War paranoia and Western oil interests, marked a pivotal turning point in Iran's history. Iran, strategically positioned and oil-rich, became a focal point of geopolitical rivalry. Mossadegh's nationalization of the Anglo-Iranian Oil Company in 1951 alarmed the West. The US and Britain saw Mossadegh's rise and his challenge to Western oil interests as a threat. His perceived Soviet leanings convinced them that his removal was imperative. Thus, Operation Ajax was born, casting a long shadow over Iran's future and shaping its destiny for decades to come. This covert operation would have lasting repercussions, influencing Iran's political landscape for generations. The early 1950s in Iran were marked by political and social upheaval. The Anglo-Iranian Oil Company symbolized British exploitation, fueling widespread resentment. Mohammad Mossadegh, a nationalist leader, sought to reclaim Iran's sovereignty. His nationalization of the AIOC in 1951 angered Britain, leading to severe economic sanctions. The US, wary of Mossadegh's Soviet leanings, shared Britain's growing concerns. The Eisenhower administration viewed Iran's strategic position as crucial in the Cold War. Fearing a potential communist takeover, the US saw Mossadegh as a significant threat. This set the stage for the covert operation to remove him from power.
The coup against Mossadegh was driven by oil interests and Cold War anxieties. Iran's oil reserves were a geopolitical prize for the US and Britain. Mossadegh's nationalization of the AIOC threatened Western energy security. The US feared Iran falling under Soviet influence, jeopardizing oil access. The Truman Doctrine justified intervention to prevent communist expansion. Protecting Western economic interests, particularly the AIOC, was crucial. Thus, the US and Britain conspired to remove Mossadegh and install a more pliable leader. This covert operation marked a significant moment in Cold War history. The collaboration between the US and Britain showcased their determination to control global resources.
The success of Operation Ajax hinged on Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, the Shah of Iran. The Shah, a young monarch, was wary of Mossadegh's growing popularity. Mossadegh's nationalization of the oil industry eroded the Shah's power. The CIA saw the Shah as an ideal candidate to replace Mossadegh. Initially hesitant, the Shah eventually agreed to the coup. In August 1953, the Shah dismissed Mossadegh, setting the stage for the coup. The coup solidified the Shah's power, altering Iran's future. His post-coup speech marked a new era for Iran, with the Shah firmly in control. The CIA's operation to overthrow Mossadegh involved covert operations and a propaganda campaign. Under Allen Dulles, the CIA dispatched operatives to Tehran to discredit Mossadegh. They bribed politicians, journalists, and religious leaders to turn against him. The CIA's propaganda depicted Mossadegh as a communist stooge. This campaign eroded public confidence and created a climate ripe for the coup. The meticulous planning and execution by the CIA operatives ensured the success of the coup. The CIA's operations turned Tehran into a battleground. Paid informants and agitators incited riots and clashed with pro-Mossadegh elements. Pro-Shah demonstrators, armed and frenzied, targeted government buildings and key locations. The CIA's staged events created the illusion of a widespread popular uprising. On August 19, 1953, pro-Shah forces, backed by the CIA, seized control of Tehran. Mossadegh, isolated and outmaneuvered, chose to submit to arrest. The Shah returned from exile, greeted by cheering crowds. The coup marked a turning point, ushering in an era of authoritarian rule under the Shah, changing Iran's future. With Mossadegh deposed, the CIA consolidated its victory. General Fazlollah Zahedi became prime minister, restoring order and securing oil flow. The AIOC resumed operations under a new agreement, granting Iran more profits. The Shah embarked on modernization, alienating conservative segments of society. The coup led to the suppression of dissent and the rise of the Savak, the Shah's secret police. The Savak, with CIA assistance, became a symbol of state repression and control, ensuring the Shah's grip on power. The 1953 coup cast a long shadow over the Middle East. It fueled anti-Western sentiment and resentment towards the US. The Shah's authoritarian regime led to the Islamic Revolution of 1979. The revolution, led by Ayatollah Khomeini, tapped into anti-US sentiment. The hostage crisis epitomized the animosity towards the US. The coup's legacy shaped the geopolitical landscape and fueled regional instability. Its impact is still felt in Iran-US relations today. Operation Ajax remains a subject of intense debate and scrutiny. The coup exposed the dark underbelly of Cold War realpolitik. It sowed the seeds of the Islamic Revolution and Iran's rise as a regional power. It serves as a potent reminder of the unintended consequences of foreign intervention, echoing through history. And as always, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Also check out the rest of the channel for more videos and topics like this.